Now, one of the things that we can always depend on is that Reddit is going to come through with the tea. And honestly, if I'm being really real, hello, friends. This is Aaronica Cole, and welcome back to my channel, Aaronica B. Cole and Co., where the and Co. is sometimes my family who will show up from time to time. Now, today's video is the kind of first of its sorts. I'm not saying that there will be more unless you guys are like, yes, Aaronica, please do more of this because we are in the need to know. But today we're going to be deep diving into a business that is within the sewing community, and that, of course, is Nerida Hansen Fabrics. Now, of course, before we get started, I do want to set the proper scene for this. This is not a video that is meant to rip her to shreds, tear her apart, or anything like that. This video is literally meant to do a little bit of a deep dive into who she is, what her business is, and kind of how we got here where many of us are still waiting on outstanding orders. First, we had to adjust the lighting because that was driving me a little bit bonkers. Okay. So now, first of all, this is not to rip her to shreds or anything like that, right? I am 1000% certain that everyone else has already done that. I want to see how it is that she got to kind of where she is today. Before we continue, if you do hear some background noise, I'm filming this during my kids' fall break, which means that naturally they are home, they are being loud, and they are being kids. Okay, so who is Nerida Hansen? Her fabric company was launched in Australia, and it is so owned by her. Her name is Nerida Hansen, and she's a textile designer as well as an entrepreneur. The company became well known for collaborating with independent artists and offering vibrant, bold designs on high quality fabrics. And it became popular, of course, amongst us crafting baddies and in the sewing community because of its focus on ethical production as well as artist collaboration. Now, we're going to pause here for one quick second because I love this. First of all, as an independent artist and as someone who has, tried their hand at fabric design, I will be getting back into it for sure. But the notion of having a brand really that is developed as well as created to really kind of bring eyes to artists who otherwise people wouldn't see. I love this notion so very much. And honestly, I feel like it's because of how it was founded, why I'm just like, girl, how did we get here, right? And also, like, I love the fact that she is more committed to ethical production as well as artist collaboration because a lot of times we don't really see that. We don't see that ethical fabric production is something that actually matters to people. Someone like me who is committed to sustainability, who is like deep down invested in this kind of production and making sure that it is ethical. I love that was part of her initial business model, and that was something that was important to her. Now, she began to pick up speed. Actually, pause. Let's talk about the year it was, in fact, that she was founded. Now, her business initially started in 2017, but according to the Aussie World, she apparently restarts businesses once they've been kind of fraudulent. This is just what I've heard. This is what I have been told. Now, I personally was able to pull up one of her business certificates and it did not say 2017. It also did not say Nerida Hansen Fabrics. So that's all I'm saying about that. Now, I will say that from 2017 on up until about 21, your girl was out there kicking. She was doing really great. Like the artist collaborations were going well. And if I'm being completely honest, these fabrics that she has are really beautiful. I've seen her being stocked by some of my favorites like the Fabric Godmother. Also Fabric Godmother, if you happen to hear this, I love you, girl, and I love your fabrics. Which of course is really cool, right? Because there's nothing like having some really vibrant fabrics that are out there. Now, it looks like she began to kind of go downhill in that 21, 22 time frame. She was thriving during when the whole panini started, right? But yeah, she was really active with influencers. When I tell you that there are 1,001 interviews out there on podcasts, on magazines, like Nerida was doing it big, friends. Like she was out there getting like known. She was becoming really known as the subject matter expert in indie artists as well as fabric production. And of course, this makes my small business heart boom because at the end of the day, I really root for the small businesses to win. And the fact that she was doing so well, I love it for her. I really do. But then I'm not exactly sure what happened. Now, one of the things that we can always depend on is that Reddit is going to come through with the tea. And honestly, if I'm being really real, I should have consulted Reddit before I went ahead and made my first purchase. So I'm going to go into my personal story with Nerida Hansen, her brand, and everything like that. Before we jump into, of course, what Reddit has to say, which again, the craft snark Reddit thread can be a little, I mean, it's craft snark. It says it in its name, right? That's what we're expecting. But I will say they are coming with uninhibited truths. You know what I'm saying? Because the notion or the thought behind craft snark is that you're being completely honest and you are not holding back, which I do tend to like, right? I am sensitive, so sometimes I read the things, they're never about me, or they haven't been. Of course, if y'all are watching this on craft snark, like, don't rip me to shreds. Your girl's sensitive. But I digress. I do think that they bring this intense honesty that I do feel like a lot of people need to see. Can it be hurtful? Yes, if you're sensitive, I am. So I could see how people's feelings could get hurt. But I also feel like if you go into Craft Snark with the mindset of, you know what, I'm going to take what I can from this experience and make myself better and make my business better, then it's really free feedback, right? It's really free feedback that can either gather you up properly, call you in to make you better, or you can get your panties in a wad, cry about it, and keep doing whatever it is that you're doing. So I do feel like Craft Snark in that sense is really excellent, right? But after I share my experience, I'll go into the Craft Snark and what they have been saying, because honestly, if I'd read this, then I never would have ordered. And then I am actually going to take a step back from my personal feelings for how I feel about the situation and also share a little bit of business advice that I would give to Nerida if she hadn't blocked me. Yes, friends, your girl is officially blocked. Let's get into it, okay? So now I've been on Nerida Fabrics, Nerida Hansen Fabrics. I've been on her email list for quite some time. I'm not exactly sure how I got on it, to be completely honest, because I'd never ordered from her from before. You know what? Maybe I had ordered a pattern from hers because I feel like she did some kind of collaboration, maybe with Peppermint Magazine or something along those lines. Either way, I digress. I somehow got onto her email list, and I know that custom fabrics are really expensive, and I'm not going to order custom fabrics unless it's something that I absolutely love, right? I'm not going to even say, oh, I already have the project in my head. No, it just means that I have to have this in my stash for me to spend that amount of money on fabric. So she was running a sale that was like giving 50% off of your purchases made through PayPal. And I was like, cool. I love a discount. You know what I'm saying? I'm like 50% off. That means that I'm going to load this cart up, take 50% off, and it's going to be worth a while for it to be shipped from Australia to the US. Because I do order from overseas. Again, Fabric Godmother, I love you, girl. Minerva also has really good fabrics too. I would partner with them again now that they've done some changing in how they partner with brands, but we'll do Minerva another time. Anyway, but I fell in love with these fabrics. Now also, I like Katie Courtman. Now I know that like there is also a Reddit thread that rips her to shreds, but I really like her. I like her personally, and I really do like her aesthetic. I like to wear bright colors. Even though I'm definitely in 50 Shades of Neutral today, but I love her aesthetic. I think that it's really fun. And as I've really been developing into and falling into my own aesthetic, very eclectic in nature, I really do enjoy her fabrics. I've made a set of overalls when she did her fabric collaboration with fabrics.com. And I have been stingy about using the rest of that fabrics because I know I won't be able to get it again. So when I saw that Nerida had Katie Courtman fabrics up there, I was like, bet, I cannot wait to order. So I ordered 3 Katie Courtman fabrics, and then I ordered 3 fabrics from a different artist. Hold please, I will look up who the other artist is. The other artist that I'd ordered from who was new to me is Miranda Sofroniou. And I'm 1000% certain that I jacked up her last name, but I love her aesthetic. She has a great eye for design, and I had already actually had some of her fabric, like a very small cut of this fabric, and I wanted more. So either way, I placed my order. I was geeked. I placed my order. This says here, I pulled up my order, placed my order Sunday, June 16th. Now, it typically takes your custom print orders between 4 to 6 weeks, if not a little bit longer, to go ahead and print and ship out. Now, typically we get order updates if it takes anything longer. I've done pre-orders for like things that I make and sell as well. Anytime that I have fallen behind, I have made sure that those people are perfectly clear about their status of their specific order, not everybody's order, that where they are as far as in development of their piece, whatever. But when my order time came up and we were in July, right, and we were at that 6-week mark, still no order update. And I was like, cool, everything is fine. Everything is awesome. I didn't even think anything of it because I was like, you know what? I didn't even order this fabric to do anything specific with. I ordered it because I needed it to be part of my collection because I just loved it so much. Again, like I'm looking at here and I'm like, I ordered 3 yards of this beautiful chartreuse fabric. And you guys know chartreuse is like, it's my color right now, right? So geeked about it. I was like, no matter what time of year it comes in, I will use it. Geeked. So then I started noticing on her Facebook, I mean, not her Facebook, on her Instagram post that other people were like, she did like an update that was on there and I can't pull it up because she blocked me, but she did an update that was on there and people were like, I placed an order in 22 and I still haven't gotten my order. Like, is it coming? And I'm like, when I tell you that my jaw dropped because I was like, I was doing the math in my head. I was like, it's 24. And at this point in time, it was September. It's October now. So it's September. I swear I can't stand these cats. Hey, Milkshake. She doesn't want to stay in here with the door closed, but I need the door to be closed because my kids are home. Anyway, so I was definitely like, okay, doing the math. And I was like, that was like 2 years ago. She still hasn't got her fabric. So I commented under that. I was like, my goodness, 2 years. I just placed my order this year. I don't feel like I'm ever going to see my fabrics now. So then she made another post that I again commented under. Again, I can't see it because I've been blocked. And underneath that post, that you guys know, I have the Audacity podcast, and we talk about the tea in the community. So I also happened to see that she was a Bernina Australia brand ambassador. Now, here's one thing about working with Bernina. Right? Bernina does make sure that we represent the company at all times, which is the reason why I am not going to drag her for filth. Why? Because I still represent that brand. And I would never want for Bernina to see this and be like, girl, like we can't work with you anymore. I would like for them to see this and be like, damn, we need to reevaluate our relationship with Nerida. Now, I did see that she did have that partnership. And of course, I commented underneath there. I was like, we will definitely be discussing this underneath the next episode of the Audacity podcast. And I really feel like Bernina of Australia should be roped in on the fact that you're out here scamming people out of their money. Because listen, if someone placed an order from your website 2 years ago, that's scam. You done taking those people's money and who knows what you're doing with it. So then she did a live, or actually right after I said that, I got the following email from her. I'm going to read you guys this email. And of course, I will also put it up here, right? I get this email. And actually, now that I'm doing a search within my inbox, I'm just like, so I get an email on August 26th. This is now a month after my fabrics were supposed to have been sent out. And it says, hi, Aaronica. Firstly, thank you for your patience. It has been a long journey to get where we are today. Because it's still not with my fabrics though, so I'm utterly confused. Please know that we have not forgotten you and we will have the last shipping dates this week for the remaining orders. If you would prefer a refund or store credit, please reply to this email and we will be in touch. If you have recently canceled your order and are still waiting on a store credit or refund, please let us know. We will follow up immediately and make sure it is in progress. At that time, again, August 26th, I didn't respond because I was like, cool. She said, next week, I will have my shipping date. Again, that was August 26th. September 9th, I get an email that is ending this chapter with the biggest fabric clearance ever. And so my thought process is, how are you selling more fabric when you haven't shipped out the fabric orders for people that you owe? I don't understand this, right? Didn't respond because cool, I'm just going to mind my business, right? Then on September 25th, this is another month later, update about orders and communication on the website, optional reading. I don't know how that's an option. Whatever. Hello all. I'm just reaching out about communication right now. There is an absolute mountain of tasks to get done to close out all orders, and unfortunately I have no staff today. We are all juggling the school holiday here. We have sent out lots of individual updates over the past 3 days, but I realize it's nowhere near enough. I never got my update. Please be assured you will get an individual notification or update over the coming days. Again, this is September 25th now, okay? And again, she's just like giving senseless updates that mean absolutely nothing. September 26th, The website is back up and in action. It will now be until I close the brand at the end of she's closing the brand end of October. Okay. How? You still have outstanding fabrics, right? And she's still pushing these fabrics, right? Still pushing these fabrics. September 26th. September 29th. Christmas gift with purchase in last 12 hours of all current excess stock. Now, here's the reason why she said she has excess stocks. She said she has excess stocks because so many people have canceled their orders because they never received them. I know my blinks be loud on here, so I don't have to say anything. But she's still pushing sales and not communicating. October 4th, free shipping opportunity. She's talking about more shipping, more free things, but again, hasn't sent an update about our orders. October 9th, storm of orders, website and order update. Hello, a quick update on all the fabric orders, trying to get in touch, what's online. The future of Nerida Hansen sewing patterns, right? Cool. Again, no update on the fabric. Then I have to backtrack a bit. September 22nd, I get an email from her. Hello, Aaronica, even though your delivery time frame is only hitting now, that's September 22nd. I ordered June 19th. I saw that you made a very nasty comment on social media. I'm not interested in pursuing that, but if you would like a refund, I'm happy to provide it. Otherwise, your delivery will be shipped in the next couple of weeks, as are all orders. So, my nasty comment was wondering how it is that 2 years ago, someone is still waiting for their fabric order. That is what she's referring to. Still, October 11th, remnants are up for grabs. Sis, how are we still out here selling when we haven't gotten to those orders? Like, it seems to me like the outstanding orders should be shipped, right? October 15th. And of course, she hasn't taken me off her email list, but she did block me on her social media. What's happening online right now? Lots of remnants for immediate delivery. What does immediate delivery mean? Then October 16th, yesterday, I get an email. Your help is needed. This is bananas to me. For those who might be waiting on orders, I wanted to reach out and ask for your help. I know that some people are anxious about their order and annoyed that I'm not forwarding enough information. I've tried my best to get some time in to give Tara correct information. Tara apparently works for her. But I am around the clock with whichever staff members are available to cut, pack, and ship. I would like to ask that if you are anxious, could you kindly grace us until early next week to follow up? Y'all, she has orders, which I'm about to reference next, that are 50 weeks outstanding. And she's asking for that. Let's get to the part that applies to me. The time frame I have given my factories is 2 weeks for anything older than June and 4 weeks for anything July, August, September. I've done all I can at this point to ensure it happens and everything is filled. So you're telling me that you still haven't even gotten the fabric that people ordered earlier this year. Y'all, this is crazy. This is bananas to me. So that's the update that I have on mine. I have no update at all. So I did what any smart person would do. And I did go ahead and open up a PayPal claim, dispute, etc. Because at this juncture, I would just like my money back. Why? Because as I've been battling with health concerns and stuff like that, if I'm not using $200 worth of fabric, then I would like my $200 back so that I can either pay a bill, I can do something else with it, right? I've got 3 kids whose mouths I've got to feed, who at this point, I would like that money back so that I could go ahead and do that. Now, I am floored at this, but I'm not the only one. So the very ironic thing is yesterday, Sarah sewed, and I'm going to go ahead and tag her in this video as well, did her own, and I'm going to play it next. She did her own review and shared her own issues with Nerida Hansen, and she called the review 50 Weeks of Excuses. And listen, just watch. Sarah says it all.
You've heard there are a lot of people waiting for Nerida Hansen fabric orders that have been placed up to a year or more ago. Personally, I've been waiting 50 weeks for my fabric, and I thought you'd like to know some of the reasons I've been given for why is this taking so long. There were linen shortages in December, awaiting the return of my manufacturers from China.
And as you all can see, and I don't know if you all have gone to the video yet, but I will also make sure that I add it up here so that you can go take a look at it. Literally underneath her video, there are comments like 50 weeks for me too, non-existent customer service, excuse after excuse. Then her email today asking for more time. There's a big part of me that wants to get an email underway to the Australia Commerce Regulator, but honestly, I'm pretty sure the whole thing would go tits up, and then I don't want to ruin it for people who are still holding out hope. The main reason why I'm making this video, though, of course, is because of the people who just didn't know what was going on. Because there are still people who are on here like, thank you so much for making this video, referring to hers as well. And the amount of DMs that I've received that are like, thank you so much for sharing about your experience, because I did go, and I'm sorry, yeah, I'm still trying to avoid this like light that is like right here. And there are still people who are in my DMs who are like, thank you so much for sharing your experience, because that prevented me from placing an order, right? Now, let me just I'm not even going to do a deep dive into Reddit, because when I tell you guys that these Reddit threads, again, truth, shout out to Craft Snark, y'all go see them anytime you want the truth about something that's going on with somebody, okay? But let's take a look at what Craft Snark is saying, okay? So, as little as a week ago, there was a thread that was called Nerida Hansen is back to her old tricks. This morning on an Instagram live, she got on there to show all of the new pretty fabric she has, but yet to give an update. And then underneath there, someone asked, anyone got contacts at Today, Tonight, or Current Affair? And then someone posted a link where you could submit the story, which is needed, right? Then someone said, someone named Marie posted in Nerida's group about the huge order delay. Several people commented, but the post was deleted 45 minutes later. To maintain accountability, I took screenshots and posted them here, which I will share that as well, because it's wild. So the person posted and said, how many people are still waiting for orders from over 6 months ago or more? I think Consumer Affairs Victoria needs to be alerted to this vendor. I'm so cross, really feeling like this vendor Nerida is taking the piss. They aren't American. Thoughts, not a keyboard warrior. You can't take huge amounts of money from customers and not deliver product or communication that is timely, accurate, or honest. I agree with you. I placed an order in May. I've received one item from that order, and I sent an email today about the remainder. But again, all of this was deleted from the group as if to save face. Someone commented and said, my order from November 2023 is still nowhere in sight. I've received a couple of tracking numbers for part of my order from April of this year. Still one of that order is MIA. An email on 23rd of September advising of new order number for my November order will be shipped to me in 7 to 10 days. So that is it. And so that's one. Then there is another thread that says, is this the end of Nerida Hansen? This was posted 3 months ago. We all know about the hundreds of undelivered orders. That's the ones listed on the website, not counting the so many that are undelivered and missing from that list. The bizarre rants, the past insolvency. The farewell range of advertising has been running daily while they meticulously delete and block anyone asking where their orders are. I searched an old ABN they used a year ago. An ABN, of course, is just a different business type. And this is what I referenced earlier when I said I pulled up their business information and it did not say any 2017 or 2016 information. It does say that they opened up in June of 22 and found a new business registered. And this is the one that I actually found for Future Folk Fabrics. And that is saying that it registered on June 18th, 24, which for reference is the day before I placed my order, which I find very eye-opening, right? And so today the website has been down all day with no word on the social media pages. And again, people are saying I ordered earlier this year and I'm still waiting. I feel like a fool reading all the Reddit posts and I wish I'd seen them before ordering. Me too. Is this the right place to dissect her latest update, or does that need its own thread? Listen, when I tell you guys that she just is shutting down old businesses, and I'm guessing it's because people are filing complaints against the old business, so she's shutting them down, reopening them, so that way she has a fresh business track for that. And so what someone asked on this thread was, so she'll shut down Nerida Hansen Fabrics and start again as Future Folk Fabrics? Why though? So she doesn't have to tell those orders. Someone responded, possibly. It's a pretty common strategy. Declare bankruptcy, pay off which creditors you can. There is rarely enough to pay consumers with owing goods, then open a new business. So it's not just me. And yeah. So let's get into what advice I would give her as a business owner. Okay, so at this juncture, since I'm not reading from the computer anymore, I'm just gonna look straight here because, yeah, when I tell you that the lights from my blinds were driving me batty. Anyway, so a couple of things. And this is just from a business standpoint. One of the things that I've seen her say on her lives is that, oh, yeah, I've been doing really bad in business and my business is still growing. I will play that clip for you now.
Unfollow them, and I don't buy anything from them. You know, like I am seriously nutso, disorganized, can't run a business to save myself. I just no more abuse. Okay, seriously, I've heard all of it. No more. It's not welcome, and I will block straight away because I've had enough. I've had like a lifetimes of abuse. So before you start saying things about me and abusing me, just start to think, okay, how much has she had? I think I've had my cup full, all right? So I'm not, this wasn't even about this conversation. Anyway, that's enough of that because I'm over it, as is, I know a lot of my customers are. And I've spoken to so many people on the phone. Thank you, everyone, for calling. And I've had quite a few conversations and it's been wonderful. So on that side, thank you so much. I don't even want to hear it, read it, whatever. But I want to show you some fabrics because I realised that with only a few weeks left, and I just wanted to show you because there's so many beautiful fabrics coming out. And this is what you guys have all bought. I'm assuming that's why you're watching. And so I wanted to show you because they are so beautiful. And I've been cutting all week and just going, oh my God, I've never seen so many incredible fabrics in my business in one place. I don't even know where to start. Let me start with Christina Forrest.
From a business standpoint, anytime that you have treated your customers ill and your business has still continued to grow and thrive, in my humble opinion, it is bad business to throw that in consumers' faces. Because what that basically says is that I actually don't value any of the people who have spent money with me before, which means that I'm actually not going to value the money that you're about to spend with me either. And that is bad business. What she seems to be doing right now is trying to pay off Peter so that she can do whatever with Paul. I know there's a whole saying behind it, but I don't feel like it in its natural saying is applying here. So what she's doing is she's taking the money from her new sales to pay off the people or the businesses that she's previously owed. Now, I could understand her actually owing like for previous outstanding fabric orders and that sort of thing, especially if she has lost sight of where she needs to function in her creative genius. Now, here's the thing. Nerida Hansen has a really great eye for fabrics, has a really great eye for a lot of these things that have to do with the creativity. But just because you're excellent at drawing, creating art, and marketing does not mean that you should be the person who is actually behind the operations of the business, because that honestly is not her strong suit. What she has said is that because of her ADHD, she can't possibly function. She gets so distracted. There are literally 1,001 excuses for what is going on with her business. But here's what I would say. She needs to hire out her weaknesses. And I say that because as business owners, especially as creative business owners, a lot of times the structure and strategy is not where we excel, and that's not what we are good at. And so if that is something that you aren't good at, hiring that particular thing out is going to be something that helps to benefit your business. Now, can she bounce back from this? I do think that she can. She does have a strong enough following of people who have received their fabrics and do stand for her in order for her to make a comeback. And honestly, I would like to see her do that. I would like to see her hire out the day-to-day operations as well as the people who manage the fabric orders. That is not her strong suit. That is not where she should be doing, right? She should not even be on the social media because she has a habit of belittling as well as making herself into the victim when clearly she has created an entire customer base of victims to her business practices. I do feel like she needs to take a step back from that, correct her behavior, and then come forward, possibly with an apology. The problem with Nerida right now is that she feels like she is in the right and that it is all of her customers' fault and that we are attacking her simply by holding her accountable. She needs to understand that accountability is not an attack. And this is something that I said to her on her live that actually got me blocked. When someone is holding you accountable, that does not mean that they are attacking you, even though accountability does not always feel really good. A lot of times when I'm holding my kids accountable or when I'm being asked to be held accountable, it doesn't feel good, right? It doesn't feel good to have someone say, hey, You said you were going to do X, you didn't do it. And now what? It does not feel good. And I understand that. From a business perspective, what she needs to do right now is put a hold on publishing on social media as well as trying to recover all of those funds. She needs to focus on just appeasing the current customers and getting them back in her good graces. It is an absolute possibility to do, right? People love her fabrics, and I'm not going to lie, I'm one of those people. I would simply like to get my fabric. Do I want my refund? I'm going to just leave it there, okay? But if she goes back and she makes sure that she does what she said that she was going to do 2 years ago on up until recently, then I think that she'll be fine. But she's not. And that's where the problem lies. She's spending so much time on doing lives on social media and essentially ostracizing as well as polarizing her audience that they don't feel like their dollars matter to her. In fact, by blocking and then limiting the comments, what she's doing is she's blocking the transparency that people really like to have when they're spending money with businesses. People should be transparent. If it does take you longer to ship out, just be transparent. If you set a goal and you did not make the goal, apologize, make the correction, move forward. And she's skipping a couple of steps. She's not apologizing. She's not making any corrections, and she's just moving forward. So I do really hope that she sees this, and I do hope that this helps her with that. And she does need to hire these things out. My understanding from some posts that people sent me is that she's losing employees left and right. And honestly, I'm not surprised because my understanding is that she also owes her artists money. That was also an entire Reddit thread that is free to people. And I do feel like if she would like to shut down working with artists, cool, shut it down. But pay the people who you owe. Her employees are probably leaving because she probably owes them money as well. And I do not know that for a fact. That is just pure speculation based upon how other people are coming forward and saying that they haven't received orders, artists haven't received funds, and people are leaving her business. It's just an assumption that I'm making. I do think that she can come back from this though, and I really do hope that she can. Again, the way that I would go about it is by fulfilling all of my old orders, making a statement about where the future trajectory of her business is going. Stop doing scammy things like filing for bankruptcy, then reopening a new business just so that you don't have to worry about the repercussions of the last businesses and the piss poor decisions that were made there. And hiring out the operations, hiring it out. And I understand that sometimes when we are in business for ourselves, we don't actually have the fundulations to do that. So I do think that she needs to kind of go back to the drawing board and rebuild that business and rebuild the faith that so that her customers can again have faith that they're going to receive the items that she did. I do feel like her pricing is fair, to be completely honest. I don't think that her pricing is outrageous or anything like that. And I don't feel like she needs to come down on those. Everyone knows that if you're going to go for a custom fabric that you're going to end up paying significantly more. I also feel like when you purchase overseas, that is a natural thing as well. I do hope that she is able to recover from this because I stand for all small businesses. And I do hope that she's able to hire out these deficiencies that she has in her business practices so that she can stop blaming her neurodivergency on her lack of success as well as her shady tendencies. But I'm interested in your thoughts. What are your thoughts? Have you made purchases from Nerida in the past? Did you have a positive or a negative experience? Would you purchase from her again if she went back and made some of these amendments? But weigh in below. I'm really interested in hearing what you have to say. But for me, I will be waiting with bated breath for either my refund or my fabrics. Until next time, I hope that you have subscribed, liked, and commented, as well as share this with a friend who you feel like would benefit from this here information. And if there's another person or business that you'd like to deep dive on, definitely leave that below as well. With that, I will catch you all on the next time, and happy sewing.